Welcome to the SmarkTank Revolution podcast where we always kick out at 2. I am the benevolent, intelligent Donnie Wonderful here with Joey Business, and we are fresh off, actually minutes removed from AEW All Out.
Yeah, what a show. We've got quite a bit to talk about.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. However, we did not see the and I just found out that we completely missed the pre-show.
Yeah.
So that's literally the only thing that we have no commentary on, but
yeah,
you know, exactly. the results were revealed during the night. Nyla
I didn't catch that.
Yeah, when Nyla Rose walked out,
that makes sense.
She won the what was it? What was it? 10 woman?
It was something. I think it was a 10-woman casino battle royal, and I'm really glad because I had Brandy Rhodes pegged to win that, so that makes me happy that Nyla Rose won.
But yeah, this was actually my first AEW pay-per-view that I watched real time.
Yep.
Man, they gave each match their just due in time.
Yeah.
But
as a matter of fact, we got the pay-per-view restarting in the background, so let me handle that. Magic of editing will take care of it.
Magic of editing will take care of all of that.
And it's starting with the first match. So, I've seen every AEW installment so far. And spoiler, I have tickets to the show, local in Boston, on October 9th. So I'm a big supporter of AEW. I believe in what they're doing. I think what they're doing is good for the business as a whole. Mm-hmm. I think their outings so far have been really good efforts. Good to excellent. Mm-hmm. Tonight would fall in the middle for the most part. It had a lot of great stuff, but I still liked Double or Nothing. I thought it was put together better. It had a better ending, better shock value, whatnot.
Okay.
We were talking with our watching buddy tonight. The thing is, AEW, in my view, they're better matches. Not better match-ups, but better planned matches and the way that they set it up, because it doesn't feel so telegraphed like WWE. For example, one of the matches that I thought that I was absolutely pegged for a victor blew my mind when the other person won, and we'll get to it in a moment. But it did well. It didn't knock the doors down for me. Mm-hmm. I thought it was going to be more of like All In from Chicago a year ago with ROH before AEW became something. Yeah. Thought it was going to be like a super show or their WrestleMania, let's call it. It was good. It leaves a lot of potential. I think where we're going to see if AEW can succeed where other companies have failed is when they actually get on TNT in October.
True.
That's going to be the test of time for them, because right now you can do a pay-per-view every 2 months or a month and a half, and that's it. But when you have to tell a story week to week or semi-weekly, whatever their schedule's going to be, it's going to be tougher.
Yeah. Again, this is my first AEW pay-per-view watching that I saw real time. A lot of high spots throughout the night. Yes. I thought it was an interesting move to have Kenny Omega and Pac on second.
I was shocked.
Yeah, real shocked at that. Even more shocked at the result of that one. And that was a really good match, but a lot of high spots. I think the shortest match had to be about 10 minutes.
Yeah, pretty much.
Every last wrestler today got a chance to have the length appropriate to tell a good story.
Yeah. They weren't rushed.
To me, man, they the Lucha Brothers and the Young Bucks.
Unbelievable. But should we go in order and go with match by match? Yeah. So
let me pull that, because I honestly don't remember the order.
The first match was, I believe, Luchasaurus, Jungle Boy.
Yeah.
And forgive me, but I forgot who they faced.
SCU.
Oh, SCU. Kazarian and what's it called?
And Scorpio Sky.
Yeah. So those guys are always good. They always deliver. They're really good workhorses. I happen to like Christopher Daniels a lot. I always have. That was an interesting choice for me to have them win over a young team like Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy, who are hot right now. and they're like an AEW product that could grow. Putting over an indie darling team, triumvirate, that you already are very well established. They've won titles everywhere.
Yeah.
I didn't think that was the right move to start off the show. The match was not bad.
No,
I just didn't like the ending. I thought it was a poor way to start. Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy should have got the dupe on that.
Luchasaurus was really
he's so
really impressive. I mean, like I'm not sure, and somebody will fact check this for me, but like he has to be every bit about 6'5", 6'6", and he moves around like a small Rey Mysterio kind of.
Yeah, and he has such an interesting aesthetic to him.
Yeah,
and it's nothing that's been done. You've seen luchadors, you've seen people who it's in the indies with dinosaur themes or whatever, but you've never seen it done in that way where he's menacing.
Right.
He comes in like Kane. Like you feel like that guy could go in and own the ring.
Exactly.
And he's very impressive. I feel like he's going to be a big standout. The crowd likes him. I like him. So I think he's going to go for it.
It's a shame that they did lose, but like it was like I told you when we watched it, it was like the really good big guys just beat the really good smaller guys, with the exception of obviously Luchasaurus, who's huge.
Yeah.
But what followed that was the Pac and Kenny Omega.
Yeah.
Like I said, a lot of high spots.
So many. Yeah. And the thing is, this was sad for me personally because I love Dean Ambrose, Jon Moxley. I've always been a big fan of him. That match with them, the way they built it, the way it was just kind of, they built it here and there. It wasn't consistently always trending or whatever. It was going to tell a great story. If anyone has followed Moxley since he's left WWE, he's had good to amazing matches everywhere. The problem is he's pretty much wrestled nonstop since he put on boots, since he left WWE.
Yeah.
He's everywhere. Every indie show that you wouldn't think, like New England, he's everywhere but flea markets, pretty much. But he did the Japan G1 Climax, which is a 16-night, intensity tournament style. And he did it, and he went all 16 nights. And those are demanding matches. I think this is where he faltered. Well, yeah, of course you want to make a living, and he's making more now than he ever was because of the way he's doing it. Right. But you knew you had All Out coming.
Yeah.
I felt like maybe the G1 Climax shouldn't have been something you were part of because you don't have enough rest from there to All Out. And he didn't even hurt himself on it, but he ended up getting an infection in his elbow. Again, I think it's like the third time. Mm-hmm. Each time it's kept him out like 8-9 months. Mm-hmm. So he's in the hottest streak he's ever been in wrestling, period. Mm-hmm. He would be the number one guy you're talking about in the industry right now, buzz-wise, and he's out. He was your semi-main event, if not the main event. I have to believe, after what we just saw, they were going to be the main event, for sure.
Because that was going to be my follow-up question to you. I was going to ask you if Jon Moxley was available, would you have thought that they was going to go on second?
No, they were going to be the main event.
They were going to be the main event?
Sure. Yeah. I have no doubt because of the way the story was told, the way Double or Nothing ended. And Kenny Omega is one of the hottest wrestlers in the world right now. That guy really can't do a bad match. So that's why you were like, okay, not only is it going to be a good to great match, but there's a story behind it that I'm invested in. When they threw in Pac, whatever, I like Neville. I'm a big fan of his. I liked him in NXT, and I really liked him in WWE. But the thing is, there was nothing behind it. They just said, hey, you're going to face this guy because we think you're going to work well together, essentially. But there was no intensity, and you knew it was going to be a good match. You expected a good match.
It was a great pair. It was a good gamble by AEW. I think that wasn't the consolation that we wanted.
Not at all. Nope.
But still, they gave them time, and they worked a really, really, really good match. And when it was over, I was saying, damn, I would hate to have to top that.
To follow that. And the next match,
but what followed it.
Yeah, and before we go on to that, the shocking part that you alluded to earlier was Omega lost.
Yeah.
Not in cheap fashion, not in a swerve. He lost dead in the ring, tap out.
Yeah, come to think of it, everybody lost clean today. Yeah.
Tap out. Wow. Kenny Omega, who's one of the guys, if to me, he would have been the number one contender for the AEW title for sure. Yeah. I don't know if they're going to go that route right now. And if they do, storyline, if you recall when Cody Rhodes created this with the Young Bucks, they said in every interview, wins and losses count.
Yeah.
How do you now ethically put Kenny Omega anywhere near that title if it go by that model? You
can't.
No?
Exactly. But what I also did notice is that they, as they were entering the ring, not everybody got that got the little stat sheet that said their wins and losses.
Right. Exactly.
So I was wondering, if the ones that they highlighted, was that intentional?
Oh, that's a good point. I think that it would have been intentional. Okay. Because what else reason would there be for it?
Okay, so I'm just gonna assume that the wins and losses that they put up for the wrestlers coming to the ring were those that they actually considered contenders. But maybe. I want wins and losses to count everywhere, all across the board.
And I think they said that that's what will happen, but we'll see, because as long as they stick to the model, they should be okay. But my point is, before we jump on, as far as Kenny Omega and Pac, what I have to say about it, nothing you haven't seen before in a Kenny Omega match. You knew it would be decent. No real surprise. Worked. It was fine. I mean, it was a perfectly good match. But I wanted something else other than perfectly good. I didn't need a 5-star match, but I wanted something memorable, and it was there. Like, if I go and rewatch this, I'm probably going to skip that match because it was all right. It was something I've seen before. Okay. But what followed was something I've never seen before, which was this 3-way that I had no interest in seeing initially between Darby Allin, Jimmy Havoc, and
Joey
Janela, who I'm becoming a fan of. I'm really digging him in his hardcore style. This match was, I cringed because the spots they were doing, I was like, oh my god, no one's ever thought of it, but there's a reason why.
Yeah, the thumbnails in the mouth and the duct tape over the mouth.
Yeah, I don't know how he did that.
Insane. Like this was a. I'm thinking, and I'm fumbling to find a good comparison, because triple threat matches, they're usually really good or they're really 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 bad, but this one was really 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 good, and I'm trying to put it up to. I can't think of anyone off the top right now, but trust me.
So the only thing I can think of close is Mikey Whipwreck, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and I want to say Steve Corino in ECW had a triple threat in the earlier days.
About 95, right?
Yeah, 95, 96-ish, which was incredible.
Okay.
And that was when Whipwreck was taken as like a true contender of ECW over those two who were stars. And that's the only thing I can think of. It had that kind of feel to it. You even said it. It had a total ECW feel to it, the way they went for the style.
Sure did.
Yeah.
Sure did. That triple threat match may have stolen the show.
Up to that point.
Up to that point. I'm glad you interjected with that, because I'm just gonna say it flat out right now. The Young Bucks are the best tag team in the business right now.
Unbelievable.
We'll get to them.
There's no question. But
we'll get to them.
So there wasn't just the thumbtack spot. There was
several.
We saw whiskey barrels being used.
Was it the Cracker Barrel?
The Cracker Barrel. I've never seen that happen in a wrestling match. There was so many apron and high spots and reversals and dangerous spots, which was scary, but they pulled them off.
They sure did. I'm surprised they're not sleeping in the ER. Like those, like you cringed to every apron spot, and those apron spots look so dangerous, man. Yeah. And it's a credit to everyone that's brave enough to attempt it and go through it, man, because that stuff looks like it's really, really, really a career ender.
Oh, they're very good the way they do the sleight of hand, so that it looks menacing, but they still are able to walk out at the end. Sure, it hurts. I mean, there's no doubt, but they do it in a way. They're professionals. There is a reason why people say don't try this at home.
Amen.
They're professionals. Jimmy Havoc got. I kept calling him Jimmy Jacobs. Jimmy Havoc got the win, and I was okay with that. I felt like that was a good outcome for his character in that type of match. And we're definitely going to see more of those three going at it again, for sure. They're setting it up.
Yeah. And then what followed that was a traditional tag match.
Yeah.
The Dark Order versus the Best Friends.
Yeah, and that was so-so.
It was regular.
Right, and
but,
you needed one.
But I mean, like the pay-per-view started off with a match full of high spots, and then topped it, So, we got a chance to actually breathe with this one. Not that the match was bad. It's just that it was more of your standard Raw, SmackDown, Monday, Tuesday night match.
Yeah, absolutely agree. I mean, none of the matches that we've mentioned so far were bad. They were all good. Absolutely good. They were all acceptable outings for a pay-per-view that isn't WWE. Even some that are WWE, like a lesser show, you'll be like, okay, this is definitely a good proving ground or whatever. What was the next match, though?
Rio and Hikaru Shida.
Okay, so I'm a huge advocate of women's wrestling. Love it. Big fan. This didn't impress me at all. I felt like it lulled the show. You said, we got a breather we deserve, but we just got it with the Dark Order. We got 2 breathers back to back. They weren't bad. They're technically sound. It's just I was not invested in it. I heard the crowd was pretty decent, so it wasn't, my opinion, but it just nothing that I wanted to see, and it went way too long.
Yeah. I wished it would have got, and respects to
Cut
the women.
In half.
Cut in half. Okay. Just give me 5 minutes back, just so you can give it to Cody.
Yes.
But like I was impressed more so with the time that they gave them.
Yeah.
And it's not that they did a bad job, but again, it's like we already had our breather the match before.
Right.
And like this one, I completely agree with you. The exception was, I was entertained. Like I said, I just thought it went way too long, and there was way too many. Like the whole night, there was way too many near falls for me. So after a while, I was just surprised whenever I got a 1, 2, 3. I'm like, oh, okay, wow.
Yeah, it was booked like a mega indie show of epic proportions, which I like indie shows. I'm a near fall kind of guy. I love those. Sometimes I want a traditional wrestling match where it's like very few falls, but I love the near falls and the kickouts. This match was just out of place for me, and they did the the angle at Nyla Rose at the end that she's coming for whoever, and that's fine. But it just killed the momentum, and luckily the next match brought it right back, that's not easy to do.
Which is Cody and Shawn Spears, one of the only. I think this was the first match that had a video package to open it.
They really sold this match, and they did a great job.
Yeah. This one told the story. Friends turned rivals. This one absolutely told the story. I commend anybody that's listening to somehow watch this match from beginning to end. What say you, Joey Business?
Okay. I agree. I told you the best match that I've seen so far is Dustin versus Cody. Yep. I'll still stand by that. Not because of work rate, but because of story and everything included in it. That is AEW standard for me, and that's what hooked me. This match was really good. It had a good story. They threw in Tully Blanchard, which was really interesting to have him be like the mentor to the young up-and-coming star. And Cody is like the Vince McMahon of AEW, as what I said, because he's a face on one show, a heel on the next, a face on one show, a heel, and we'll buy it every time. And that's a good thing for a storyteller to have. Right. Shawn Spears did really well.
Sure did.
They gave him room to breathe. They didn't stifle him like NXT with a 3 or 4 minute match.
Right.
And they gave him time to tell a story. And I really like Shawn Spears. I wouldn't mind seeing him as a champ somewhere down the road. Cody looked very fluid and very crisp tonight. He was hitting everything great, including that springboard stunner he did, which looked awesome.
Yep.
But what I really enjoyed was you figured, at least I did, you figured with Tully Blanchard, you have to neutralize that.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, the back of my head, I knew Arn Anderson was coming. And sure enough, boom, he came and delivered a beautiful spine buster to a humongous pop. Shout out to Arn. Thank you for being our first guest.
Yeah, absolutely. If you haven't had a chance, go back through our playlist and check out our interview with the Enforcer, AA Arn Anderson.
So that match, could have been a contender for match of the night at that point too. It's amazing how the pay-per-view seesawed, where the first one you start out, you're like, oh wow, that was pretty good. The second match was better than the first, and you're like, okay, don't want to follow that. The third match was even better. Then we got a couple breaks, and then this one brought it back to the point where you were like, for different reasons, the second and this match was on the same level.
Right.
But
then, in my opinion, the apex came.
Oh my God! This match.
Right after that.
Yeah, which I was very shocked for too.
With the Lucha Brothers.
Yeah.
And the Young Bucks, arguably the best tag team in the business.
No
right
arguing, absolutely none. I mean, if you guys see these people, they're like the Hardy on super steroids, the Hardy Brothers, because Matt and Jeff were amazing, and they still are to an extent, but they were epic in their prime. Mm-hmm. These guys do things light years beyond them. Like they move in a way that is just so safe, so fluid. They're always going. You don't hear about them on the shelf. They're always going. They're professionals. They're amazing. I have nothing but the best to say about them.
And that match was 20 plus minutes of just pure
awesome
chaos, and I mean chaos in a great way.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing what they did with ladders, but then, oh man, when the mask got removed,
that was a nice touch. That
wow,
if people aren't familiar with luchador culture, that was a good storyline way to stop him from climbing that ladder because he was shamed.
Yeah,
and it didn't stop there. I thought that was going to be the finish. With the mask coming off, they were going to run up. Then they went into this ridiculous set of spots that each one got worse than the last. And, I mean, kudos to all of them. But the Young Bucks, my God. Like, the pile driver, the package pile driver on the ladder, I cringed so bad.
And not to mention at the end, LAX.
That was a good setup.
Yeah. LAX came out with was it the JFK mask and the Clinton mask.
Yeah, that was really a good setup, and it was funny because in the back of my head I should have known it was LAX. There's been a bunch of rumors, but the way they moved didn't look like LAX to me, so I was like, who are these people? And I was very intrigued. At least we found out. I thought they were going to pull a thing where it was like, see you next time.
Right.
But that was really good.
Speaking of rumors, there was no mention or no CM Punk sighting.
They didn't mention his name once, and I feel like that's a missed opportunity. You're in Chicago. You could have just thrown money at him and had him make an appearance like Bret Hart, but do one spot. He could have got someone up for a go to sleep, and that would have got them insane attention. Now, maybe they asked, and Punk said no. I don't know, because he can be that way, but that would have put the pay-per-view completely over the top. Yeah. However, till this point, this was the match of the night by far. No, it was the match of the night. It was. With the main event coming out.
It was, yeah. The main event saw Adam Page and Chris Jericho
to crown the first AEW World Champ.
Now, you were making, you pointed out and made the observation how purple Jericho was.
There was a spot in the very, first 2 minutes of the match where they were trading chops, and Jericho got hit with a chop flush that left this humongous red welt on him. But immediately after, his face, neck, and the back of his shoulders turned this, eggplant purple, and it never went away for the rest of the match. I'm not sure what that is. I don't know if that's blood pressure, heart, or whatever. It was kind of scary to watch because, as I was saying, it was reminiscent to me of the last day we saw Ultimate Warrior in a Raw ring. When he came out and shook the ropes, but he was red.
Yeah.
I hope we don't read something about Jericho tomorrow because that would be sad.
Oh, yeah. I mean, well, not to I'm not going to take it there.
I hope not.
I watched most of the match outside. I was on a phone call, but I was still
sleeps.
Yeah, man. Hey, listen, I have two phones, one for business and the other one's for more business. It's never personal. Joey business. But I thought when they did, if they put together highlights of the match, it sped it up a lot better than what I saw live.
Absolutely.
And Chris is in his 40s.
Late 40s.
Late 40s. Adam Page did well. I like their spots, and we got to see some color today. and an incredible code breaker.
Yeah.
I love how the match ended with the Judas elbow.
Yeah, it was good. The thing I would have to say though, if that was the match that they planned, and I don't think so, if that was the match that they planned all the way through from the jump, I was very disappointed with it because they could have done a lot better to crown the first champ. I think Jericho's condition through that match made them have to kind of ad-lib on the fly a lot of it because he was not moving at a brisk pace. He was slowing spots down. He was having a hard time catching and keeping up, and it just looked like he had something going on, and it was sad.
Yeah. When I did rejoin you guys, you pointed out a lot, like how they were talking, like they were talking to the referees. I forgot exactly what you noticed that Chris said or. Someone said, like, check on him. Is he all right or something? Or let's take it home or something like that.
I think they said, let's take it home because you could tell that Jericho was completely gassed.
Right.
And plus the pay-per-view was almost midnight, which that you're getting your money's worth because they're not shortchanging you. But he just looked like he could not go the way he should have went, and which is weird because it's a stark decline.
Yeah.
Because at Double or Nothing, he went fine with Kenny Omega. In January at Wrestle Kingdom, he went amazing with Kenny Omega. So to see him drop that quick over just months is kind of worrisome. I know he's put on a little bit of weight, and I know he's bulked up to get like more of that that top heavy physique for his move, but. No, I mean we're from New England. We're no stranger to amazing champions, a la Tom Brady, and Jericho is up there in my eyes for wrestling as a Tom Brady, but he doesn't have it anymore. It's sad. It really is. I get they made the right move by putting the belt on him because it will get them the most attention to start up their company the way they need it media-wise.
But you did mention that you hope that they take
it off. I hope he takes
him.
it off him very soon because he's not going to be able to carry that.
I liked what they were able to execute in the match. I admired that. I mentioned those spots earlier, but yeah, like that the lion salt attempt.
That was bad.
So Chris definitely did show his age today.
Yeah, sadly.
But it's also been a while since he's been in the ring. It's been
2 months.
2 months in your late 40s.
And you got to remember that this guy is, if he's not in the ring, he's got other obligations with his band. He's constantly touring or doing something to keep up whatever next level project he's got going. He's got his podcast, and podcasting ain't easy, folks. But listen, it's the Peyton Manning syndrome. No one will argue that Peyton Manning's one of the best of all time.
Right.
But he went out luckily on a Super Bowl that he had nothing to do with that win. It was a team effort that just surrounded him with greatness.
Oh, man.
Jericho is in there with younger guys that can go. And they're only going to get younger because AEW is going to want younger talent to counteract, what's going on in WWE. Jericho is the consummate professional, and it's one of the reasons why I love him the most is even when he's not a champion, in my eyes he's never afraid to put anyone over for the betterment of the business.
Right.
His ego never gets the best of him as far as a booking scenario. But right now, he can't hang with it. A Kenny Omega again, or a Young Buck, or any of those people that they might be putting against him for that title.
Okay.
I mean,
so that's why you see this as a one and done world title reign.
I don't see it as a one and done. Unfortunately, it should be a one and done. It won't be because they need him. They need his name and star power. He is driving it right now.
Right.
That little gimmick and fun thing he's got going, you should thank me. They should. Once Jericho put his name to that paper at that AEW press conference that day, AEW blew up, and it's been rolling since. It wouldn't have done that without Chris Jericho.
Cool. Well, gang, there you have it. Our immediate response to AEW's All Out. Overall, I'm gonna do a school grade here. I give the show a B+.
I was just about to give it a B+.
I loved what I saw. This was my first time watching it in real time.
Yeah.
How about you?
I loved it. The only knock I have is the same knock you had almost all during the night. They got to do something with the commentaries mics because they were difficult to hear. We were commentating most of the matches ourselves.
Yeah, I completely forgot JR was there sometimes.
Yeah, he was overpowered.
Yeah.
Big time. And that's a shame because he should be the voice of that company on the microphone.
Should be, guys. Well, guys, there you have it again. Joey Business, Donnie Wonderful, SmarkTank Revolution. Thanks for listening.